Good morning. This is Cecil and Blues. Thank you for joining me for another Final Fantasy XIV video. Today I will be covering the patch notes for patch 3.07. In this patch, primarily, we have adjustments to job classes. These are balancing effects that are being done to kind of keep everyone even. Although some of them, not so much. Dark Knight is where they start off. There have been changes made to Unleash. The adjustments here are just visual, so that you will be able to see enemy attacks underneath them. The second ability that has been adjusted is Blood Weapon. This now applies an effect which reduces the TP cost of weapon skills by 20%. This stands up with what they mentioned during the 14-hour live stream, and it should help Dark Knights maintain their TP when they are off tanking. The next job is Monk. The meditation skill has had its recast timer reduced from 1.5 seconds to 1.2 seconds. This should help you spam out meditation to get your chakra up to 5 in a slightly quicker period of time. The Forbidden Chakra has also had the delay before using your next action adjusted. It just says it's been reduced. I don't know what that means. It was an off-the-global attack, so I guess there's a delay in there, but it's a little bit less now. Tornado Kick has had its recast timer reduced from 60 seconds to 40 seconds. I see that as kind of an unimportant change, to be honest, since the primary cost or recast timer on Tornado Kick is its its cost in your Grease Lightning stacks, but I guess maybe it's important for PvP. There are a couple of situations where I've wanted to use Tornado Kick quickly in succession. Alexander 4, if I get pulled up into the window, or the what do they call that? Sorry, my brain just isolation. There we go. If I get pulled up into the isolation room right before going into one of the manipulator phases, sometimes I'll want to do Tornado Kick twice quickly, so maybe that 20-second reduction will come in handy. The big change here, this is the one that everyone was really worried about, other DPS classes very angry about, Grease Lightning. The damage bonus increased from 9% to 10%, and the duration has been increased from 12 seconds to 14 seconds. This means at Grease Lightning Stack 3, your damage bonus is now 30% instead of 27%, and your duration is still 14 seconds instead of 12 seconds. So they gave us 2 additional seconds and 3% damage bonus. Pretty incredibly minor. I don't think this will have a major impact on monks, but it will provide just that small extra window if you really didn't have the timing down in order to keep your stacks going during certain situations. So it should be helpful to keep monks' damage more consistent. I don't honestly know that a potency increase was necessary, but I don't have access to the logs. I don't see the numbers that the developers see. I don't even see the numbers that other players are seeing, because I don't run a parser. I don't care about that stuff. I like to just kind of feel it out, and if I ran a parser, it would be all I cared about. Let's move on. Machinist Quick Reload. The recast time has been reduced from 40 seconds to 30 seconds, and if you play a Machinist, you're like, wait, it's already 30 seconds. That is because of a quicker reload trait. That now reduces the cast time to 15 seconds, or the recast time to 15 seconds. Your TP recovery has been reduced, though. 50 was the old number. It now restores only 30 TP, but you will be able to use quick reload on a much more regular basis now, so that's pretty good. And then the big one here, the huge list for the Astrologian. I haven't played an Astrologian, and I don't know anyone who plays an Astrologian yet, so I don't fully understand these notes. I'm going to read them off, and you'll kind of be on your own to give them meaning. Benefic potency has been increased from 380 to 400. Benefic 2 potency has been increased from 620 to 650. Helios potency has been increased from 290 to 300. So just a slight increase to their healing potency, it appears. Aspected Benefic potency of the regen effect from Diurnal Sect has been increased from 100 to 140. The amount of damage nullified by the barrier from Nocturnal Sect has been increased from 100% of 100% of HP restored to 130% of HP restored. Aspected Helios, the cure potency when not using Nocturnal Sect has been increased from 140 to 200. Cure potency when using Nocturnal Sect has been increased from 140 to 150, and the potency of the regen effect from Diurnal Sect has been reduced from 50 to 40. The next ability is Sinestry. Man, the names on these abilities. How do you guys keep it straight? Alright, an effect has been added that increases the caster's healing potency by 20% for 20 seconds. The party member under the effect of Sinestry will now recover HP when any other party member is targeted with a healing spell. Furthermore, the amount of HP recovered has been reduced from 50% to 40%. Recast time has been reduced from 120 seconds to 90 seconds. I assume that means more to you than it does to me, because I don't know what that ability does at base, like what it did yesterday. But those are the changes that have been made to it. These next ones are more, looks like the buffs. Celestial Opposition, recast time has been reduced from 150 to 120 seconds. The Disable effect, the effect has been changed to reduce the potency of all the target's offensive actions for the duration. The duration has been reduced from 10 to 6 seconds. So it's a very minor output buff. You can use it at very specific times, I guess. Then it sounds like it mirrors the abilities. Actually, yeah, it sounds like it doubles up. The Machinists have a disable sort of ability, the one separated between magic and physical. This one sounds like it does both, but it has the same duration. The next one, Collective Unconscious, will now grant regen and 10% damage reduction to party members when using either Diurnal Sect or Nocturnal Sect. Auto attack will now be cancelled upon execution. Regen potency has been reduced from 200 to 150. Duration of regen has been reduced from 18 seconds to 15 seconds. So, again, I don't know what that ability did before, so I hope that those changes make sense to you. The Balance. Duration has been increased from 15 to 30 seconds, regardless of whether this is a single target or area of effect buff. The same is true of the Bowl and the Arrow. Those are the conclusion of the buffs to Astrologian and to all the classes. There have been some PvP actions that have been adjusted. The Pugilist Monk ability Axe Kick, the duration of Grease Lightning 3 granted by this action has been increased from 24 seconds to 28 seconds. And the shared action Purify, the recast time has been reduced from 180 seconds to 120 seconds. The Enhanced Purify trait now reduces cast time from down to 90 seconds. The following adjustments have been made to PvP encounters. The damage penalty incurred during or due to the distance of a bard or machinist from their target will now be reduced when using Wanderer's Minuet or Gauss Barrel. So that's like, there was a nerf applied to machinists and bards because of their ability to kite people. So now that won't apply when you are in your casting stance. The area, or the effects of Battle High and Battle Fever have been adjusted. Battle High, the increased rate for filling the adrenaline gauge has been reduced to 1.25 times the normal rate. Battle Fever, the increase in the rate filling of the adrenaline gauge has been reduced to 1.25. No, sorry, that was the previous one. 1.5 times the normal rate. These adjustments only apply to Borderland Ruins Slaughter and the Seal Rock Seas. Then we move on to changes made to items. The effect of favors has been adjusted as follows. The duration of favors has been reduced from 15 minutes to 5 minutes. The rate at which you unlock concealed gathering nodes is now increased by 300%. So, I mean, that makes sense. 1/3 the time, 3 times the possibility of a procs. I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be honest. 5 minutes is not a long period of time, so even with a 300% increased chance of popping these nodes, I feel like the average result is going to be less items. I don't know, I really don't like the favor system. I think it is incredibly random and can really suck if you have bad luck. And I mean, this did reduce the amount of time you have to spend doing it, but that's still a half hour out of your day for every favor you purchase, because you get, I think, 5 per bundle. Moving on, the following items can now be obtained via the retainer fishing vendors: Blue Claw Shrimp, Rock Mussel, Mog Palm, Sweet Fish, and Blue Cloud Coral. So, if you have a fishing retainer, it will now be able to go out on ventures to retrieve those items specifically. The rate at which Battle Gallery can be caught when using Brute Leech has been adjusted. I don't know whether up or down. Maybe if you're a fisherman, you kind of know what would be expected there. The following item names have also been adjusted. The Ninja Tekko and the Koga Tekko have had a K added to their names. Apparently they're spelt wrong. The system adjustments are as follows. This was one of the big adjustments they advertised during the live letter, or at least during the 14-hour live stream. The party list has been adjusted as follows. Players can now see the TP bar of all party members. To reduce system load, the values of your TP has been removed. That means that it no longer says, like, the number. So instead, there won't be 1,000 and it'll go down. You'll just have to kind of eyeball it. You can still look at your own party, like your own buff bar thing. It will still show yours. As far as seeing your party members, though, eyeballing it is sure a heck of a lot better than, I don't know, asking them, because that was the only way to know it beforehand. Then they also reduce system load by moving the party bonuses into the party members tab under Party in the main menu. I mentioned that during my recap of the live letter, but that's that little bar at the top of your screen that lists all the different stats. One of my viewers did clarify that apparently those are bonuses, and it's like for every member of your party who has a particular stat, that stat gets a bonus. So anyway, it was never really super relevant, and you could probably eyeball it just knowing what the primary stats of everybody in your party was. But if you want to double check it, you can access it by clicking Party and Party Status under your main menu. Then they resolved a series of issues. I'm just going to read these off. If they affected you, then you will know what they are, and you'll probably be really happy they were fixed. If these weren't happening to you, then you're going to be like, what? I don't care. But that's how we're wrapping up these notes. Issue where the Machinist effect Gauss Barrel would be removed if your MP hit 0. An issue where the Machinist auto turret Rook would not affect enemies under certain circumstances. Issue where weapon skills used immediately after removing the Bard effect, the Wanderer's Minuet, or the Machinist effect Gauss Barrel would have a cast time and become uninterruptible when moving. Okay? An issue where the Summoner effect Aether Trail could be obtained under certain conditions where it would not normally be obtained. I hope that doesn't mean, because I noticed in the last patch that I was getting Aether Trail when I used certain abilities that I didn't get it in the patch previously, and I forget which abilities that is now, but I will be a little bit grumpy if they took it away. It mostly affected AoE situations. Like, I want to say I didn't get stacks when I used the flare. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. But I hope they didn't take that away. Moving on. Issue where food effects were not properly granted to pets. That's kind of a big deal. An issue where Astrologian's magic vulnerability bonus in PvP was too low. An issue where guild leaves were issued at the Adventurers Guild prior to when they should have been unlocked. An issue where the weekly restriction on Red Gatherer scripts and Red Crafter scripts may not have reset. Yeah, that kind of stink. I mean, if you're actually adhering to the script system, and this may be a good time to comment that they didn't make any other changes to the script system, so I have an angry letter that I'm going to be recording later on, probably today, and I'll get it up later on this week. An issue where a quest progression message would appear upon logging in after accepting a high-quality item delivery quest. Issue where company workshops in free company houses in the Goblet were not considered sanctuaries. An issue where catalyst requirements were not shown in the materia item help text. An issue during character creation where certain face paint options did not appear and could not be selected. An issue where antiqued Tantra chest wrap would cause graphical issues in certain places when worn by male Highlanders. An issue where certain female all-raw hairstyles would disappear under certain conditions. An issue where it was possible to become stuck in certain areas and become unable to move. An issue where it was possible to go outside the map in certain areas and become unable to move. An issue where using input sources other than Japanese, and when focused on a multi-line input area where clicking on another entry field would have no effect. This only affects Mac users. An issue where the support desk could not be used. Mac users only. An issue where an item listed in the objectives for Weaver class quest Tomboy Foolery was incorrect. And that's it. That is the full list of notes. There is some important stuff in there, but there is less there than I expected there to be in there. The fact that there's no changes to the script system upsets me slightly, but it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, because as I said, it was something that was thrown out by chat, and it wasn't something that appeared in the official translation, so I feel as though it was just someone trolling, and it really makes me wish that they subtitled these broadcasts, or at least got the subtitled versions of them out much quicker. Maybe write your congressman, ask for that sort of thing to be taken care of in the future over at Square Enix, but I think that's gonna call it done for me. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. You can subscribe to the channel. It will notify you when I post new videos. You can also follow me on Twitter at itsboats. I do notify Twitter when I have posted a new video. You can expect later this week a coverage on the script system and kind of my overall thoughts on it and where it is and what it means for crafters and gatherers in Heaven's Ward. You can also expect a machinist video. I held it back a little bit because I wanted to see what changes they were going to make in this patch. So that is it. Me done for right now. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.